This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Welcome, folks. I'm Damon Bruce. Tuesday night in the NBA. It'll be the Orlando Magic facing off against the Indiana Pacers. And now it's off to Indianapolis we go for the call by Kevin Harlan alongside analyst Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg.
Just earlier, the fans on their feet as the national anthem rang out throughout the arena. And we've been waiting for this day for a long time. It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here in the start of a new season. Along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Opening night and time to check out the starting lineups to the tip-off of the new season. First for the Magic, Nelson and Afflalo combine a guard. And they've got Vucevic, the sweet-shooting 7-footer out of USC, in at the center. Then there's Tobias Harris. And it's Davis in at the 4 slot. And for Indiana, George Hill at the 1, Paul George at the 2. And starting 7'2", one of the true giants in the game, another great big man out of Georgetown, Roy Hibbert. Then there's Danny Granger. And it's Scola in at the 4 spot.
Well, the Magic ended up with just 20 wins on the season, which would be the worst record in the NBA last year, but they at least weren't dead last when it came to wins on the road. Still tied, though, for 3rd worst in the league.
And it's going to be the Magic off the tip. Nelson kicks to Vucevic. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. When you're a team like the Magic last season trying to find an identity in a rebuilding year, you know, Steve, it can be hard to gel as a cohesive unit on the road.
Well, the whole year it seemed like, a lot of the team was trying to figure out the kind of the nuances of the team dynamics, of the talent, of the new coaching staff. And it's frustrating when you're just getting beaten up every night. But you got to go through that to grow as a group, and hopefully this team can be a little better on the road this season.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
You know, in order to win your division, you have to be able to win games against the rest of your conference, and that's exactly what Indiana did last season. A tough team in a tough division, and they gave no ground to other teams in the East. Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Harris misses.
Well, he actually did a nice job there reading how that shot was going to come off the rim. Perfect. I mean, that can make up for any height disadvantage.
And the Pacers, as you mentioned, Clark, very solid against the other teams in the East as they would cruise to a 31-20 record against the rest of the conference.
And really that's because this team is built to handle anything that's thrown at them. It's a big, strong, kind of old school team. They'll pound you inside, they rebound, they protect the paint. There aren't a lot of matchups that seem to bother this team.
Nelson dishes to Harris. Feeds it to Davis. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. They get Luis Scola.
Boy, you look at Glenn Davis out of LSU, guys, and he might have made one heck of a left tackle in football. 6'9", close to 300 lbs. He's as strong as they come, and yet surprisingly as quick-footed as any big man in the league.
And Glenn Davis, an improving rebounder in recent years, and Stevie uses his size well defensively.
He's tough to back down. He's got a barrel chest, strong legs. Offensively, he's not a guy who finishes over the top, but he's crafty in the way he can go through bodies and find ways to get the ball into the basket.
Hibbert the pass to George. Offensive rebound Pacers. Hibbert gets the bucket.
He's a grinder. Love what he does under the offensive boards, really bringing energy and life to his team.
Nelson kicks to Harris. The basket good off the assist from Nelson. Harris has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Outside, George. Now the dish to West. Pass to Hill. Outside, George. Granger inside the line. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Here's Nelson. No good. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Magic out in front, leading by 3. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.
Bring your costume. It's Halloween in the NBA. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers. More NBA this Thursday night.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And from what we've seen from Orlando, what do you guys see?
Well, they've been getting to the foul line here an awful lot. The aggressive play really paying off.
Yeah, and you know what? It also helps to put the mute button on the crowd. I mean, when you methodically score at the line, that can put those fans on their hands. When the Magic made the big trade they did to send an unhappy Dwight Howard away, everybody thought they'd be the doorman of the league, and that wasn't quite the case. They were able to sneak up on some teams early and had enough talent to battle others late.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Gentlemen, Roy Hibbert is pretty good friends with Tim Duncan. Hibbert recalls when they met. He said, I met him when I was a kid during the 2001 NBA All-Star Game in D.C., and he actually remembers that moment. We share scouting reports on other teams. It's just a friendship. I learn from him, and you know, he's the best. So I don't know if he picks up anything from me, but I definitely learn from him. Kevin, a great tutor for the young Hibbert.
Hard to think of a better mentor for Roy than the great Tim Duncan. Thanks, Doris. Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Mahinmi comes in for David West. And it's Granger in for Paul George. And as good as their season appeared early on, the Magic did eventually cool off and teams were able to overpower them. Steve, early on, they definitely caught teams off guard, I thought, and were playing well above themselves.
I agree, Kevin. They executed really well. They would run a follow and Redick off those screens. And Vucevic was a surprise, a really good young player down low. But they've got to continue to build this roster in order to compete at the highest level.
You can talk about a lot of other power forwards around the league, and even though Louis Scola never really explodes for monster games, a lot of his opponents will tell you he's one of the toughest guys to deal with because he's so consistent and has a lot of versatility to his offensive game.
On speaking of Luis Scola, two-time MVP of the Spanish League, didn't come to the NBA until his late 20s, but boy, when he arrived, he made a dent.
He was ready to go immediately because of his experience in Europe, where he was a go-to scoring threat. And, you know, he could do a lot of things offensively, whether it was posting up or making that mid-range jump shot.
Nelson kicks to Harris, and stolen by Scola. The feed to Stevenson. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Stevenson's got his first points of the night.
That finish brings me back to the old days, the silky smooth finger roll.
Vucevic, defended by Mahinmi. And good on the basket. Book it. There's 48 seconds left in the second quarter. Hill dishes to Mahinmi. Granger. Passes to Scola. He kicks it to Hill. Just 5 on the clock. And again, it's Indiana. 29 seconds left in the first half of basketball. On the wing of Flalo. The good-looking shot from the wing. Well, Flalo's got his first 2 points. For Indiana, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Hill against Nelson. Hill passes to Scola. It's stolen by Oladipo. Got it up. That misses. Would have kind of had it gone in. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Magic lead by 1. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
The moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. The NBA season on 2K Sports has begun. Let's take a look back at our first half. Orlando on top against the Pacers out in Indiana. They're looking for a winning tone to start this young season. They've been aggressive, drawing fouls and converting from the charity stripe. Nikola Vucevic making a big contribution. No big numbers by his name in the box score, but he's doing the little things out there to try and get his team the win. Good overall, also, though, for the Pacers. Wiping the glass defensively. Look, no streaks. They're preventing any second-chance opportunities. Danny Granger off to a good start. George Hill's also been a big factor. The Lakers are playing at Staples Center as they go up against the Clippers. Some teams in the West facing off there. A 7:30 Eastern tip time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. You have to like what we're seeing from Vucevic.
Yeah, his performance really transcends the stat sheet, Kevin, because you look at it, not all that impressive, but he's made a huge impact.
Yeah, the numbers aren't huge, but he's been really solid. I mean, he's made some important plays for him, and that's what it takes to win. You can't always have guys just stuffing the stat sheet. Sometimes you need plays made that don't show up in the box score.
Nelson kicks to Harris. A follow. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Afflalo's got the first field goal of the second half for the Magic.
Well, Tobias Harris last season, guys, sent from Milwaukee to Orlando at the trade deadline. I like this young man's game. He went from a reserve role to starters minutes and remained very effective.
And back to Tobias Harris now in his third season in the league and still just 21 years of age.
And he's the player that Orlando insisted on in that trade with J.J. Redick. So the versatility they like, the ability to have the skill set of a 3, but also be able to guard a 4. That type of kind of hybrid forward has become very popular in the NBA these days.
When Danny Granger was out with injury last season, he saw that the Pacers team had become really Paul George's and Roy Hibbert's team as they became the new faces. While some would throw a fit about it, Granger said he was proud of them and happy to take a lesser role. He just wants to get back out there.
Gets the bucket.
No matter who it is, that kind of defense is not going to cut it.
Hill drives in. Open shot. Hibbert connects on the 9-footer.
I'll tell you what, the first half may have been a little slow, but both clubs really picking up the intensity here in the second.
I'll say that's for sure. I mean, things have really ramped up here.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here.
The offense just getting right to the rim, but at least they saved the layup with the foul.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layup. Earn it from the line.
And when Granger is healthy, Steve, he's certainly a great player.
Well, you love his versatility, his ability to play both ends of the floor. A tough defender who can guard multiple positions. Offensively, he can put it on the floor, get to the rim. He's got 3-point range. Really an excellent all-around player.
There's the 3. No good. And it's the Magic taking it the other way.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity they have.
Well, they need to be.
Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
And here's Hill for 3. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession. And Orlando making a change here. The Magic leading by 6.
This should be the last possession of the quarter if they play it right.
And if their clock management's good, it will be.
And now Orlando on the break. Turkoglu leading the charge. That drops.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. I mean, that was a very late reaction from the defense there.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Magic out in front, leading by 8. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this.
Tune in for a scary night of basketball. Halloween in the NBA. Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks take on Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls. This Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time.
And the final period of play just about to start. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Magic.
How about the three-point shooting we're seeing so far, guys? Amazing.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
Orlando's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. He dishes it to Vucevic. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Vucevic has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Orlando. Here's Copeland. Offensive rebound. Here's George. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, he's an exciting young player. Almost 6'10", great athleticism, length, dynamic finisher at the rim, and he can guard multiple positions defensively.
And you know what, Steve? His growth defensively has been just as impressive. He uses that length to great advantage, contesting shots and coming away with deflections and steals.
Glenn Davis is checked in for Hedo Turkoglu. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Magic leading by 8. Harris outside. Nelson, he's guarded by Hill. Harris dishes to Vucevic and stolen by Hibbert. Outside, George. Some nice passing here by Indiana. And it's Hibbert missing. And for the Magic, they're shooting 64%. Beautiful all-around play by this offense. Out to Harris. Back to Afflalo. Fires the 3. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. And that's now 11 points for Arron Afflalo. George fires. Up again. It's hauled in by Harris. Orlando's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. And Vucevic kicks to Harris. 3-pointer. Afflalo, no good. The Pacers have gotten off to a rough start in the fourth quarter, going 0 for 4 so far. Hill, no good.
It's like he's just trying to showcase his range, but he could probably get a better shot in that possession.
Yeah, he sure could. It doesn't do you any good if you miss it from that deep.
This is going to be a great game for them. No win on the road comes easy in the end.
.27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So a new group on the floor for Orlando. .27 seconds left in the game. And here's Hill for 3. Mahinmi passes to Johnson. Rejected by Lamb. Kicks it to Harkless. Dishes it to Maxiel. Price, pass to Lamb. Back to Price. He feeds it to Maxiel. Here's Lamb. Misses the shot. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
That concludes the first game of the NBA season. So for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, Doris Burke, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. Thanks for joining us. Now it's time for the Jordan Player of the Game, Arron Afflalo.